It's the next day. I've been working at this for almost 2 hours now. Got the corner, well, I skill sawed the part of the siding on this side so I could get to this corner. And I've been working at removing this bottom plate because it was rotted out too bad. It was pretty far gone, so that needed to be removed. So I'm just working on this some more. I got my jack up, so it took the pressure off while I did this. So I'm going to measure and cut a new piece of treated to go there, and then we're going to put 2 treated here, kind of like we did on the other corner. We've got another one last nail to get out from up there, but then we should be okay. I may end up going ahead and cutting off part of this. I mean, it's bad all the way up to here, but up from there it's good. So I might either pull the whole thing off and just replace it as well, or I could cut it off there and just replace the bottom half. But at any rate, I'm gonna get back to it. Just wanted to update you real quick on what was happening. So we got the corner done, the bottom plate done for the corner. So we have a solid corner. This one needed more work than the other corner, but it's good. I'll probably add a cripple down there as usual, instead of taking that whole one out. But this whole corner did need to come out. It was bad all the way up to about here, halfway, and it's just useless. So yeah, we got fresh bottom plate for 4 feet there. Yeah, now I've just got to probably add a ton of cripples, because some of these are kind of meh. But we'll finally be ready to start putting sheathing on. I guess I'm going to add insulation there. Half a day spent fixing this. Now that this section is squared away, I got a new stud, or a cripple on each stud. I think I put one on this one too. Yeah, so all 3 of those. So that way, I did not reattach this stud to the new bottom plate because the bottom of them are all ruined. Attaching would be useless, so I attached, this is about a 40-inch piece. I attached that several places to the stud where it's, kind of mostly solid up here. And then I attached the new stud to the new bottom plate, and it's solid, very solid. So I've started working on this side, and this is the last section I need to get from here to the end right there, where the new board starts is going to be left alone. So start with the Sawzall. It's sawing the bottom, every one of them, through the nails. And once that's done, well, actually before that, since there's sheathing on the inside it was stapled to this, you got to take the pry bar and remove that first. Just pry it out, and that can just be hammered back later and new staples put in. It's no big deal. Then you take the pry bar, get it off just the bottom plate. The studs don't matter. And then you can Sawzall, because you need a little bit of a gap back there for the blade to kind of poke through and not hit the wood. And at that point is when I start trying to get this out, which is pretty loose already, as you can see. So there's just a few spots I need to loosen up. But once that's done, I do have the jack in place, just relieving some pressure. It's so this is just barely loose, see how loose that is. So I'm gonna work that, get this bottom plate out, measure and cut a new bottom plate, slide it in, do the same thing I did over there. I find it funny. There's some more of those brad nails. They use brad nails. I don't know why there's brad nails on that 2x4 stud, but they're in that one too. I'm so glad that they decided to do that. Otherwise, this wall would have fallen apart, obviously. I'll just continue doing that down, get all those little staples, and the staples are from the sheathing on the inside. I've got to get those out of the way, and any other obstructions so I can fit this new bottom plate done. How's that for a good cut? First try. That's what happens when you measure. Measure twice, cut once. Now, I had to beat it up a little bit to get it in there. Because this was kind of pushed down a little bit too far, but we got it in. So now it's time for some pow pow. Get it in place. This insulation is just constantly in my way. Ooh. And it's completed. Every stud got a new cripple on there, except for this one. This was the only one that was sort of good. Every other one though, put a new cripple on, attached them together, attached the toe nail to the bottom plate, all that good stuff. I had some of this mineral wool insulation left over from another project, so I'm going to use it to fill this section here that was not completed previously. So reusing some of that. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I can finally, well, I'm gonna take a lunch break because it's been 6 hours I've been working on this already. So after I get the insulation in, I'm gonna get a lunch break, and then we can finally resume the sheathing installation here and hopefully get this whole wall done with sheathing and tieback. Oh, figured it was time for an update. I got all the sheathing on now finally. We are done with sheathing on this side. Just cut and put up the last piece there, so now it's time to finish the house wrap, or start the house wrap really. Get that done, then I can hopefully start getting the siding on. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all on, but we'll see. Another hot day completed, I guess you could say. We got stuff done. I just moved all the siding for back here, or for this back wall back here. 2 4x4s and then a 2x4, but all treated, or underneath it. I put a, so this is a long piece of plastic, so it's doubled up, so like, you can't see it from this side, but there's a piece of plastic on the bottom. It's kind of like wrapped in it, so it'll be fine if it rains. It's not supposed to rain. We've got like 0% chance for rain now, so it's been really good for weather for doing this. Well, besides it being 100 degrees, you know, that sucks, but for working it's been great because no rain, and hopefully it stays that way. But as you can see, it's wrapped. I'm exhausted. So we got the whole back wall fixed. You know, this whole half had to be redone. The bottom plate, the whole half, it was I showed you, it was just worthless. It was super rotten. And all the bottom of the 2x4s, you know, I've got the cripples on there to help. So I've got this wrapped to this side for now, a couple tacks in just to hold this, because I cut this off with the skill saw earlier because I had to access that corner to fix all that. So this is protected with the house wrap, and then whenever I go to continue this side, I'll just wrap that in with it, kind of like I did that corner over there. I just left about 2 feet, and I'll wrap it, tape it, and continue on the wrap that way. So, but yeah, we've got it wrapped up top. I've got 24-inch overlap. I like going, I mean, I think the spec is 12 inches, but I mean, how hard is it to go a little bit more? Doesn't cost that much more, you know. So that you can see, that's how much overlap there is. So, and then of course the vertical seam, it's about 16 inches is what I did on those. So like I said, I like to overbuild everything, you know. So spec is this, I can go just a little bit further. I mean, not that it would really matter too much, but it just makes me feel better, that's all. So now we're ready for siding to go on tomorrow. I'm kind of throwing around the idea of flashing again, and I know I mentioned I couldn't find any like pre-made flashing that would fit because the concrete is not uniform. So like here, here the 1.5" flashing would work perfectly, but then down there it needs more like 2.5 inch. So what I might do is I got a 10-foot strip of 1.5", which would do like 8 feet here until it gets really wide, somewhere right in there. I might go buy 2.5 or 3-inch flashing, lay it up there, just mark it with a Sharpie, and just hand cut it with my 10 snips, or I could get the side grinder out. 10 snips may be fine. I mean, it's not hard to cut them with that. I just hate to not put flashing here, because knowing how much of an issue it is with this whole setup. And of course I am still putting a roof over, like a lean-to. It's gonna be about at 6 to 8 feet out. I don't know exactly. This I think this is 16 feet total, but I'm not doing the whole thing. So, but yeah, if I put the roof here, this would be a non-issue completely, but I still would prefer having the flashing just in case, because I don't know exactly when I'm gonna put the roof on. I mean, I would prefer to wait a few weeks to take a little bit of a break. This is day, what, 5 or 6 in a row, something like that, of this. So you know, it wears on you when it's literally 100 degrees and the heat index is higher, and it's just hard work. So it is tough doing 12-hour days because I get up at 4:30, get prepped, run to the store at 6, get stuff, get back here, get unloaded and all that. I mean, the pre-work and the post-work, like cleaning, putting everything away, which is everything's cleaned up now, you know, it's a good 45 minutes pre and post work, if not more. Getting all the tools out, getting all extension cords, and you know, yada yada yada. So it's not just doing this, it's all the other stuff too. So at any rate, kind of done babbling now. We'll get back after it tomorrow, and hopefully I can get all that siding on. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. Get all that siding done tomorrow, and then depending on how long that takes, possibly paint tomorrow again, where I'll do one coat here, one coat there, one coat in the front. That would make this side and the front done, and then possibly by the time I get back to this would be dry, and I can do a second coat here after I do caulk. So at any rate, we'll see how that goes tomorrow. I'll see you then.